Okay, we have done the cuts, and we cut this out after we drew on it, and as you can see, this pushes back oh so tight, so there is hardly any room at all. The weld should go very, very nice. And what we've got is, anybody working with cars, it's like a magnet like this is so perfect because it is strong to hold your piece in there, especially if you're trying to weld it by yourself. But yeah, this goes right down in. I mean, it is
a little bit of a gap up here, bigger gap up here, but we can,
now they're, well,
yeah,
not too bad.
just put this in the middle of it and it'll be fine.
And yeah, it looks like there's a little garbage in that corner. We'll yeah, we'll clean that out, and then we've got to take and expose the bare metal all the way around, like this side, so there's something good to weld to. There's some more booger in that corner, but that should do it, and get that welded up. Say, this panel's great. Got it from a guy in England who stamped them out. You can go to some of the Mopar pages and probably see him listed there. So with that, that should close it out. Okay, today I'm going to weld this panel in. As you can see, it's very, very close, really close here. We got it really, really close here, and this side goes out a little bit there, which is not bad. That'll all just weld in. But I'm going to, where it's perfectly flush, which it is along here, I'm going to tack at the welder ready, and then just back and forth, keeping it, make sure it doesn't warp or anything like that. Which you can see, this is out just a little bit right here. I can put my finger on it, but I'll hold it in. Now it's flush, but now it's off here. So yeah, I'll have to just go around and get it to, there it went back up. But I think it's got a little dip right here from the body. You can see it had Bondo in it. So I'll probably I'm gonna tap that out first from the inside, so that meets that a lot better, because that's where it should be. So that'll be next. I'll put it on time lapse and we'll get this thing welded up. Okay, just about done with this. Spotting out little pieces. I got a little bit more finesse sanding to do, and then I've got sanding to do on the inside. But it's in there. It's going to be solid, and I'll smooth it all out. All this here on the ground, that's a ton of metal that's sanded off from the welds. All that metal wanted to be part of a Daytona, and it's not gonna be, so poor things. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. The welds in here, I'll have to sand all that, but for the most part, that'll be the end of the video on the side marker light installation panel. So okay, back to working on this welded in patch panel. Wanted to show you with this straight edge on the side that is a factory replacement quarter. Sorry for all this changing hands. Anyway, this body line, as you can see, it's pretty straight all the way, and as you come down over the cutout, the body, all that stays flush to the edge of this, which is pretty much flush. This side that I just put this on, not so much. I mean, this was a factory quarter, and it was so rusted. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can, there's a big gap. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a gap over the top of it, and then down here at the bottom, it looks real good and tight. But starting up here, I mean, it's good, and then it starts going in, and I can feel it right here. But when you go on the inside, that was a 68 quarter, which did not have this cutout. It had a hole there for a light. So you can see my fix right there, cut out a medallion and put it in there. And then there's the new panel. And I will put some filler in there as well as out here. But that's why that had a little Bondo there, is I had already fixed that hole, and I guess it's right here in the seam. So that had not been finished out yet, because I knew I had to put this in. So now that I've got that, I will get busy getting some filler in there, getting that all level, and starting to sand that out. And then I'll get back to doing more sanding, which seems like a mess, but it's not really. I'll go over with some prep all, clean it out. I've been working on the gutter here a little bit, trying to make it, because it's fiberglass into metal, so there's a little transition there. I think I've got all my welding done. You can see I had to spot weld that from underneath. That's been done, and since I had the welder doing this patch panel, took care of that. And then also up front here, there was a brace across here that was all rusted out, and it's got a slot for the fender, and you can see the other side over there, it has that brace as well. And I don't know that it's even needed. I guess somebody added that, so I put it back, because Chris's car, his doesn't have anything. His just comes out, and there's no L in here, no L on either side. So I probably could take it out, but it is more strength, and I mean, I don't think it needs it, but I guess it ain't gonna hurt it. So I'm gonna leave it in instead of drilling and tearing up the other side, trying to get it out of there. Possibly somebody replaced these and they didn't put one back in. I doubt it. It's probably that way from the factory, but anyway, that should do it. I'll put it on time lapse and mix up some filler and get this thing filled out and start finishing it out. So I'll be back. Okay, got the final one on there. It was still a little low in this spot here, so put another little layer on there. This across here is all good. Of course, it's all got to be 320, 220, or 320. Yeah, it's setting up. I still might have a little low spot right there. Not sure, but that part's all done. Get that done and start finish out this whole quarter to where it's all nice. Once I get it sanded, I'll put my straight edge on here and make sure I'm still nice and straight, which I could probably check it a little bit here. Yeah, it still might just be a touch low. We'll see. We'll get her sanded and check it out. So really happy with the panel from the guy from England. The one that was I tried to put on there was all rusted, and it was a mess. So we'll continue on doing more sanding. Today I'm going to just give you an update on the panel that I've been working on. I mean, it just looks gorgeous as far as how well it went in, blended. I've had to, right here on the seam, when you're trying to look at the seam of it, it was a low spot right there, so I had to put a little more in it. Let that set up. Inside, still got a lot to do in there. Got to sand all that, sand it down a bunch, and been working on some of the rocker panels. They had a lot of welds that showed, and some of these welds kind of showed. And I've also, where I'd put some filler up here, been starting to sand, get those a little more level. Here I'm just trying to make it level. It's not that it really needed Bondo, but or filler, and I think I'm just creating more work. To sand most of that off, just fills some of the low places. But all in all, the firewall's good. Towel, everything else, is in nice condition. And here's that line I'm talking about. And as you can see, when you take the light across it, the line is nice all the way across. I mean, that's a replacement quarter, so I'm trying to get this side here to look as good as that side over there. And all this was fine right to here, and then it dipped in, and that's where we had to do the panel, and it probably pulled that metal in a little bit. But it's coming along. So just that was a quick update. Hopefully get that knocked out. Finish sanding up here on the trunk gutters, which I have been doing a lot of sanding. Just reprimed it and reprimed across the light. Get that sanded. Make sure all my lines look good around my plug that I filled for the window. And heck, we won't be too far off from doing the final sanding and getting some sealer on it. So till next time, bye bye. Hey, welcome back. Today I have been sanding. I think I got this taken care of. I'm going to get it primed.